I don't have
That is a strange sound.
that.
Yeah.
And then the horn's not.
Oh, the horn's not bad.
That feels accurate to what a PA would have.
Yeah, but
That's why POE
we'll get the
is.
Yellowstone going at some point too.
Yeah. Yellowstone.
These are cool.
Flats.
Oops, sorry.
Violating Rule G, Dust.
Yeah, you know.
You son of a
It's like a Rio
bitch.
Grande Cup, okay?
Well, yeah, if your glassware matches the railroad, then it's no longer violating Rule G.
Is the Sperry
Huh?
Is the Sperry unit new?
That Jimmy gave me that.
That's kind
Jimmy,
of neat.
you know, Jimmy, my friend from the top.
Oh yeah. I'm assuming you're getting a cog too.
Yes.
That's cool.
Are you getting one?
I am.
I am also getting
He
one.
texted
I'm
me that, he's like,
excited.
you want a cog? I'm like,
Excited.
when are we going to go ride the cog as a group? We need
We need to.
We do need to do that. I need to redo the lights on these because the lighting sucks. Like, the tail car doesn't light up and it's the most beautiful tail
Have
sound.
you used that thing about it?
That's
I
cool.
need to mess with them. But
What's
I
the
guess,
cheap? They're like $9?
yeah. So, it's not much of a layout, but it's a layout at least. And
Yeah.
gives me a place to
Indeed.
run
There's
my
also
HO.
one up there.
I saw that.
Gives me a place to run my HO scale stuff, my standard H. Eventually there'll be narrow gauge around the room as well.
You're
going
going
in,
in.
it's
It's
the
the circular Zephyr.
Yeah.
That'll be exciting.
It'll be like Leighton's, it'll be 10 foot by 11 foot basically around the room.
Yeah, so far on the channel, people have only seen Leighton's railroad.
Yeah.
No, they haven't seen any of it. Well, they've seen my model railroad, which is 6 feet, made by Jimmy,
Yeah.
not actually operable really. Not for long.
Yeah,
But
no, it's-
yeah, it's neat to show off the difference. I mean, so Leighton built a standalone deal in his garage that's an aisle designed kind of thing, right? It's like 6.5 by 18,
Something like
that. If I'm remembering things. And then Dusty's gone for the around the walls
yeah, Norm and I did the benchwork and got the main line in 4 days time.
Yeah, it was impressive to see the pictures come across.
I wanted a place to run my trains and I just didn't care, so I didn't plan anything. We just went for it and this is what we came up with. Then I came back and started cutting switches in for sidings and stuff. So we got a passing siding with like a freight depot. I haven't put the siding in yet, but the switch is there for like the co-op for the ag stuff.
It's a cool building.
And then eventually back over here will be a mine with 2 tracks
Mine?
for coal or something like that. Because I've got a wonderful set of tunnel motors and Rio Grande coal cars that need a place to live. So
Back, you used to be at a train club that no longer exists down in the Springs. Everyone cries. That was really cool. And you had like a zillion thousand hopper cars.
I think I've got 60 cars for Rio Grande and CSDPU, Carlos Springs District Utilities. Coal cars for Rio Grande.
You'll be able to knuckle into yourself, I imagine.
Pretty much, yeah. So,
That'll be fun.
and then eventually, like I said, like Leighton, I'll have my narrow gauge
Down low.
down at table level around the room as well. So
Yes.
that one I'm going to plan out. I don't want it to be just chaos like the standard gauge was. I want it to actually have a vision. So,
Yeah, that'll be cool. So yeah, that is the other neat difference between Dusty's railroad and Leighton's railroad. Dusty's is actually HO scale and HO gauge. Scale and gauge are 2 different things on a model railroad. Scale is how many times smaller than the real thing is the model, and gauge is always just the distance between the rails. And so HO scale, and when you think of an HO scale train, it's almost always an HO standard gauge train. But Leighton's are narrow gauge, and Dusty also has some HO scale narrow gauge fighting.
it's
There you go.
back here. Yeah.
Right there.
268 and some of the Silverton cars and
Yeah.
different stock cars and stuff. But
Yeah, so if we take a little
here.
stock car here,
let's say you can show them the track.
Oh, yeah.
This is HO in 3. This is narrow gauge.
so HO narrow gauge, but 3 foot.
And here is
Prototype.
4.5 prototype.
And that's standard gauge prototype. So you can see the 2 different track gauges there. Even if we were to overlay it, it would look just like that 3-rail track that you've seen at the museum in so many of my videos.
Yeah.
Because it's the same exact thing, just 87 times smaller than it should be. So,
Let's get the Yellowstone out.
yeah, get the big honkin' pretty thing.
So
This thing's so cool.
you know the Rio Grande leased those.
Yes, and they wrecked one.
Yes. They said they were the finest engines they had ever run, and then they promptly put one in the ditch, and they all went back because they didn't have the water brakes like the Rio Grande was used to.
And they also didn't have the steam override for the power reverse.
Yeah, and they lost air on one and couldn't put it in reverse and promptly put one into a ditch, and they said, never mind, you can have these back. So, yeah. Let's see here.
A 2884. And I think they have more tractive effort than the big boy, don't they?
I honestly don't remember, but yeah, they're
honking huge. And this one's MTH, right? The manufacturer.
Got smoke and all the balls in this one.
All the fun.
Permission to throw this straight out?
Yeah, go ahead. Back to the main, or to the siding, I guess. See if it's got enough smoke to it. I'm gonna have to
Top it off.
let's see here. I don't know if it comes through on the camera or not, but
Well, you can see it in person, and it's hard to see on the little camera screen. No, you can see it. It's kind of mesmerizing watching both sets of engines go, isn't it?
well, and MTH was always good because they had it where they had different sounds synced for the two different drivers.
Yeah.
Go in and out of sync and everything. They don't have a short whistle actually, it's just all
They're all just long. And then probably a third of the cars in this freight train were once owned by me.
Yep.
Maybe not a third, probably maybe a quarter.
I think
It's
the
probably a
box cars
handful.
and the Southern Hoppers and the Santa Fe Dawn up front, the Texaco car, those were once owned by Mr. Heiss himself.
I know. I used to have many HO scale trains, and then I said, no, I don't want them anymore.
Yeah,
And now I'm correct, and I do SN3 now.
Yeah. Let's pull one more smoke in that thing. See if we can
There you go. But I'm not as correct as Norm here. We'll have to show off Norm's layout on the channel at some point, because Norm's got ON3, which is twice the size of this, but the narrow gauge. So like,
And see, I try to be accurate. It's coal-fired steam smoke.
oh good. Authentic black lung.
It's got a little bit of the smell at least. To me, it all smells like diesel. But,
Well, yeah, it's fine.
There it goes. Now it's smoking.
Oh yeah, seriously. That's how you put the smoke in the real ones too, right?
Yeah, you just dump it down the stack. And
Yeah.
Oh, smoke rings.
Just blowing smoke rings.
That's what I always loved about the MTA food. The one thing was
The synchronized exhaust.
exhaust and smoke.
I know that's true.
It's hard to scale fluids, of course, down to 87th the size, but man, it looks awesome. Oh, these things are Baker valve here?
Apparently.
Neat.
I don't know enough about the train movers.
The one I like is the jump seats.
Oh, did they? Really? Like I said, all I know is that they put one in the ditch, and after that they went back.
They really liked them, and then they stopped liking them.
And that kind of is about the size of this room, isn't it?
That's a big old
probably. It was an all-over cab, and because they ran up there. Well, they didn't run there in the winter. That's how the Rio Grande leased them. Is that when everything got cold up in Michigan and everywhere up there,
The ore froze.
all the ore froze. They couldn't unload it, so they didn't run during the winter. So the Rio Grande said, "Hey, you're not using your locomotives. Can we borrow them?" They said, "Yeah, sure." So, and as far as I know, well, and actually there's a few pictures out there. They're very few and far between. They didn't re-letter them at first. They ran with the Duluth, Wasabi, and Iron Range logo on them when they ran around the front range here.
That is quite the tender herald that is on those.
It's a lot of lettering.
And the wings and everything. I mean, it's, yeah.
They've got one on a treadmill in Greenbelt.
They do. Yeah. The green. Is that the National Railroad Museum?
I don't
think
remember.
so.
Yeah,
I want to go see it.
I wanna go
Yeah,
see
me
it.
too.
And see, like the L131, which I have a model of over here, pumps up at the front, They're sexy, good-looking locomotives. Versus the big boy.
Yeah, there's something about flying pumps on the front that just really sets a locomotive off.
Yeah, it's an L131 model, but I need to put sound and DCC in. But that was actually, I bought this, somebody hand painted this.
Really?
That's hand painted with like a fine brush, flying Rio Grande and cab lettering.
That's amazing.
It's crazy to think. That's not decals, that's
Somebody painted that.
And same with the...
And I mean, like, look at how small that is.
Well, and look at the numbers up front. They even did those, the number boards up front.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's actually amazing.
Who did it, but yeah,
It did a heck of a job. Look at what they took from us. The Rio Grande scrapped almost every single piece of standard gauge that they had.
Yeah.
Look at how cool these things.
Yep.
They think
All
they
but
said
one.
683.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. That's because it was on a
that's
different
right.
railroad.
Three.
The only thing that saved that
They did. Okay.
is that the fact that it was on a different railroad at the time.
Well,
And that's because Perlman, because he grew up as a fireman and hated steam because of his fireman days.
Those are ones that
So this is the DNSL Malley.
DNSL.
We'll get flying Rio Grande at one point.
Let's see. I'm gonna try and get the camera to look where we can see the articulation happen the best. You've got this nice little weaving S-bend through here that ought to look pretty cool.
I've got 32-inch minimum radius, so most everything should run here.
Yeah, 32 is really generous in HL.
Yeah. And I wanted to stick with that because I've got the articulated, and I've got the long passenger cars.
Yep.
And like I said, I wanted a place where I can run my standard gauge and gives me the opportunity. And I've never been one for hops. I like to just sit at train and run it and sit there and
Watch the train go around.
yeah,
Yes.
visit with friends.
Now, the one thing that's really common with model articulated locomotives that's not true with the real articulated locomotives is that both engine sets usually pivot. You can see the rear engine does pivot a little bit, and the front one does as well, but on the real thing, only the fronts pivot.
Yeah.
Because model train, I mean, there's a reason we joked about train set curves and railroads online.
Now
It's because train set
this
curves.
old PFM model is like the real thing. The real one does not.
Oh, that's cool.
But the
But they
front
built
does.
so much extra lateral into it to accommodate.
When you go around the corner with this thing, it's crazy how
Uinta photo.
That is a serious Uinta photo, yeah.
But yeah, the old PFM L131, the rear is a solid set, and the front is all that's articulated like the real deal. So.
Yeah. But the lateral on that is incredible. I mean, you can really see how far it'll shake before it really does it. And they've got modeled a little delivery pipe or an exhaust line. That's awesome.
Just a tangent line.
That's beautiful.
A tenth of each
I
lap.
forgot it's missing the air pump. It fell off. And
did it?
Yeah, it's missing one.
That's only got why he's a little bald.
It's a K28.
That is a K28. A big K28.
It's lying somewhere here. This fell off, and luckily I didn't lose it. So
Those are good looking choo-choos.
yeah, I need to put a cam motor in DCC though.
I've never seen a tiny ball peen hammer before. Usually spike hammers like the little,
It's a jeweler's thing.
it's a jeweler's hammer.
Makes sense. It works good for spikes though, and I do one of these nail sets.
So you don't have to actually get between the head of the.
I will chisel you out of stone.
Thanks.
Look at his abs.
Just do it this fall.
huge.
Go off.
Go like a hurt.
You can't use the model chisel, you gotta use a big one.
We don't have a big one.
Anyway.
No.
Remember, they are 3/4 the needed. Always looking for their fourth. And
Dusty does fit. It turns out everyone at the Railroad Museum fits a little bit because we're all as Norm would say, not right in the head. Not right in the head. It is fun to sit there and watch choo-choos go around in circles. As always, let us know if you enjoyed watching the choo-choos in circles.
Choo-choos go around in circles. I feel like there's...
I think
Do we do that somewhere else?
there's something wrong with this.
Something. Many things.
We do real trains around in circles and real trains around in circles. Yeah.
It turns out we actually are just NASCAR fans, but think it goes too fast. So So
And it's fitting that I'm going the same direction.
you are.
Always doing the same.
You're running clockwise, so you don't burn the neighbor's field down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as always, let us know down in the comments below if you enjoyed taking a look at Dusty's Railroad Pike. And if you enjoyed Brett being creepy, that's fine.
That's great.
And maybe next time, if he gets a couple things done, might go check out Norm's layout, which is 0-3 and freaking awesome.
Probably very common.
So,
It doesn't like that area.
bye! Let's see if I'll get ahead of it.
Two separate smoking. Technically, there's some fucking scenery going on there.
Well, you can hear it. It was on a seat at one point.
I can hear it. I'm talking about the smoke.
I don't know if they do a double pulse on one or if they have two.
They might come in the same height. I don't know. Like the big boy, I think it's got two. He's got two stacks.
Oh, because there it is in the corner. You can hear
It's
it.
only got the ones.